Smith Travel Research data on hotel spikes with respect to occupancy rates, average daily rates, and hotel revenues. And actually, in the 6-year period that I've looked at, the Indianapolis Super Bowl was one of the largest spikes.
Yeah, because they had the new JW Marriott.
Just so everybody knows what's going on here, the rest of the house heard what was going on at the dinner table. And wanted to come down and get in on this. And as we do every week, the show never wraps up while we're still on the air, and we stay on 9net. Stay tuned.9net.org. But unless you had to go, I wanted to. You mentioned basketball. You said long shot. You say on the NCAA.
Yeah, I had an interesting talk earlier today with some folks about that decision that are involved with. They're going to be part of the bid process for bringing that here. I think we have actually a pretty decent shot because part of getting a Final Four, it depends on your facility. Maybe we aren't the strongest among the 8 cities that are finalists, but we have done a heck of a job putting on Final Fours, regionals, second and third round, and that's a big part of it. The NCAA does not want to take their events to a city that's going to do a subpar job, so that's huge. And even though the facility is not as updated as Cowboy Stadium and the like, there is that closeness, that proximity. The one thing that hurts Cowboy Stadium, and I did the economic impact for that Super Bowl, it's in Arlington. And that stadium has not done much for the economic development of Arlington. You've got to commute from Dallas or Fort Worth.
And you're talking about. St. Louis has a reputation for loving events.
I just want to have to mention though, Frank Viverito leading the charge there from the St. Louis Sports Commission.
Absolutely.
We wish him a healthy recovery. He couldn't be with us tonight because he's under the weather. So just that's we don't want to talk about him like he's not here.
San Antonio is one of the cities that's vying for that bid cycle, but they're out because the Alamo Dome is obsolete. Exactly.
And with the Final Four,
go ahead.
With the Final Four, and I'm involved with the local organizing committee for that event. Went down and met with Indianapolis with the NCAA a couple of weeks ago. One of the things that I think we really have, aside from being able to support major events, is we're a walkable city. And to your point with Arlington, the thing that the NCAA likes about St. Louis and what we have to offer is there's so much that goes around the event, not just the 3 games. It's all of the activities, concerts, and other events that support that. They're now doing the Division II and Division III men's championships games that same weekend. We have the facilities, we have the Scottrade Center, we have Chaffetz, and you can park one place, you can stay in your hotel and walk and enjoy a concert by the Arch, a concert by Memorial Plaza. So there's a lot of benefits to St. Louis because of our ability to host events and our walkable urbanity.
So tonight we've had some themes are starting to overlap. We've got obviously the sports, the emotions, and the business of what that means. And then we're hearing a lot about transit and the arts, and then we're also talking about talent retention. Sometimes, do these camps need to maybe overlap a little more, or do they enough now?
I almost think they're conflated a little too much. I mean, there's an economic argument that some people will really appreciate and care about most. There are people who care most about the vision of their city and what their friends in other cities think and how much pride you can have in your team. And then, I mean, I love the city, and it's a great place to host an event because, I mean, how many Super Bowls have been in Miami? What a horrible place. I mean, you have to bus from the stadium to the city to all kinds of places. So we're a great place to host events. That's a completely separate argument as to what the economic impact is, as to how much we like it. And in terms of retention, I've been writing a little bit about millennials and what people are looking for. Certainly the NFL and pro sports do not rank as high as they used to in terms of 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds. Forest Park matters, cultural institutions matter, great jobs matter, bars, restaurants, things like that matter. It's a little bit less, today we were talking off screen that, I can have a 70-inch TV at home and I can be watching literally every single NFL game at the push of a thumb. So, the NFL has a real challenge in the stadium experience, making sure that matches up to standing in front of a TV and watching every game in real time and rewinding and doing whatever you want. So I don't know that retention in terms of getting that next generation in is predicated very much on professional sports.
And I thought a lot of myself when I was that age, and as I've grown up, I said we didn't run as much as we thought, and I think that's 20-somethings, early 30-somethings, they may not think a lot about the NFL, but trust me, there are enough people that aren't in their 20s and 30s that it is a viable alternative to actually physically go to the Blues game, to go to the football game, to not watch it on your phone or do all that.
You can't deny the success of the NFL and the Blues.
Absolutely not.
And I would also disagree with your statement earlier about the Sprint Center. I don't know where you're getting your information, but I've had a good deal of dealings with AEG, the owner of the Sprint Center. it is considered by them and around the industry as a struggling venue. It's not doing well. It's not a profit center by any means. It's struggling, and it's a problem for them. It's a problem for the city. So I think you're off on your.
I mean, lots of NHL teams are struggling. Lots of NHL teams lose millions of dollars a year. So it's not a team or not a team isn't the definition of whether it's
No, but I
successful.
mean, your facts just aren't correct there. That is a struggling venue. It is not a profit center. It's anything but a profit center.
Well, I'm just saying that places with pro teams struggle.
Yeah,
It does not have an anchor tenant. It does not have a full-time tenant playing 40 to 50 games a year.
They're just not getting, you know, again, most arenas, it's 315 dates. They're not getting close to that in your information?